Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm the founder and CEO of WOKEN, and I'm going to introduce you to who we are and what we do, and this is going to make sure that our phone call is really effective and about you so that I can give you all this upfront key information and answer your questions ahead of time. So, about me. I worked at Goldman Sachs. I worked at Bridgewater Associates, which is a hedge fund, and on the side of my job, I was referred to hundreds of professionals to really help them with their careers, and I noticed a lot of patterns of the challenges that they were facing. I even had my own job search experiences. I was helping others, and then I really decided I wanted to get trained and certified in coaching. From there, I started designing and developing systematized digital tools to make sure that every professional can be intentional with every career decision, especially choosing your direction and landing a job that really is aligned with you. I've done career coaching at other organizations like WeWork, the Flatiron School, Columbia University, Project Activate, and a few others. And that is just a quick story on me. I'm happy to answer questions. I also did a tech MBA at NYU Stern, and that is my background. So we are going to do a little reflection activity. So grab a piece of paper and a pen. We're also going to guide you through like what we do and how we do it. We talk about what typical coaching would look like with us. We're going to talk about how we're different and what the value is that we add. We're going to talk to you about some client successes that we've had, as well as talk about your timeline and the pacing that we would suggest that you go in, and even show you our product as well. So we've got a lot in store for you. So hang tight. Okay. So grab a piece of paper, and I want you to just sort of jot down some of your thoughts and responses to these key questions. So, number one, how long have you been thinking about a change, a career change, feeling in need of a little more, something different? How many weeks, months, or years has that been on your mind? I'll give you a few seconds to jot that down. And I want you to jot down where you're at right now. What role, what sort of industry, and really kind of how you're feeling in that space. Where are you at in your journey, and what would you be, in terms of timeline, like where and when do you want to make that change happen? Is it 3 months, 6 months, right? How quickly are you looking to make that change? And I want you to reflect on really what's driving you to make this change. Why is this important to you? And why did you set up this call? Why is this important to you? What is driving you to make that change? And I'll give you a few seconds just to reflect on that. And what are your fears? What's holding you back? What are your hesitations? Being honest with yourself is huge, and being honest with me is huge, because then we can really work through those things. We don't want any limiting beliefs holding you back, right? So I'm here to guardrail you from that, but understanding how you feel is huge. And then I've got some 1 to 10 questions here for you as well. So what is your current level of stress and anxiety around your career, 1 to 10? How certain do you feel about how to approach the process, whether it's career exploration or job search? And what is your current level of clarity on your ideal direction, 1 to 10? So this is just helping you figure out where you're at to help you figure out what you need help with, right? And so this is just like a short list of some of the top areas that we could work through together that you may identify as some of the challenges that you're facing, right? So there's the element of finding your direction and figuring out what role, what industry, what environment is important or aligned or fitting with you. That's challenge number 1. Number 2 is focusing on your personal branding and how to represent your story in all of your materials, as well as how do you talk about your story. Number 3 is pivoting to decide on any upskilling, further education. Is that something that's on your mind? Is that a challenge you're thinking about right now? Job searching, right? Have you been already job searching? Where are you at? Is that something you're focusing on? Is that something you're dealing with? Are you dealing with onboarding to a new role or managing and growing in your current path? So what is career exploration? It is a process that is distinct from and a precursor to the job search. It includes a series of steps of practical learning and reflection in order to compare, contrast, and clarify which career path you are confident in pursuing. I like to define this for you so that you understand it, because it's not really a concept that's out there in the world, and we are really introducing this precursor process to make sure you can get these answers you need before you start applying and interviewing anywhere. So I'm going to explain how this process works. So, step one is our assessment, right? And we really help you to reflect on the function of what you really enjoy doing and what you're great at, the content of what's important and interesting to you, and the environment that you thrive in. From there, we come up with options for roles and industries that we want to explore and learn about, okay? And from there, we move into learning mode. So we guide you through research, networking, experiential learning, and most importantly, iteration. So when we teach you how to network and learn from professionals, we're going to reflect every single week and go into these loops of what are we learning, what do we feel about what we're learning, and what does that mean for who to talk more to and less to, until you get to the point of feeling 100% about which role and which industry is the right fit for you. So we get clarity from there, and then we move into the job search. So at that point, we'll do your personal branding, all of your materials. We'll help you decide if there's any upskilling programs that are helpful or relevant or reputable and worthwhile for you. And then we set goals, set a strategy, and really guide your approach with job search to help you to know where to spend time wisely and, of course, land a great role. So how do we do this? We teach you what to do, how to do it effectively, give you a space to track all your work, and, of course, guide you with myself as a coach. We have one-on-one calls, we have texting, we have email support, we even have group coaching, and of course I can see your platform and I'll see all the work that you're doing throughout the week. So this is sort of the format of how it works. How are we different? Number one, you are in the driver's seat, right? The outcomes are going to resonate with you, or if it doesn't, we're going to get rid of those options. That's really important versus any pre-populated automatic suggestions. You are the one that's going to be learning and reflecting. We're interest driven, right? If you want a job that's fulfilling, we need to figure out what you're like, what your affinities are, what your interests are, and figure out how we can go get paid to do those things. It's a unique process of iterative learning and reflection. That's the secret sauce that leads to certainty on your path. It's really accountability focused. So your progress, setting goals, figuring out your routine, how and when this is all going to get done, and setting up a timeline together is really a super, super important thing of what we do, and checking in with you throughout the week. We care about you and only you. So I have no employers on this platform. I have no ties to any employers. The world is your oyster, and I want you to figure out where you best fit in this world. We're holistic. Your mindset is important. Your mindset is going to impact your action or inaction, whether it's conscious or subconscious. So we need to talk about your reflections, your thoughts, your feelings. We separate career exploration from job search. It is important to clarify your direction before you job search, right? We have a shared digital workspace with myself so I can really see what you're doing and how you're doing. And of course, we try to really be affordable and accessible, much more than coaching typically is. So we really focus on your mindset, your accountability, and your practical strategy. These are our 3 keys to success. On a typical coaching call, we will review your progress and everything you've done and your challenges and your questions. We will review guidance as to what's coming up next for you and how to approach it. Talk about your accountability process and system, and then really just talk about any and all things on your agenda, any and all things that we need to talk about together to make sure you're being efficient and effective. These are some examples. As you can see, these are people who were in a certain place, a certain state, a certain job, and they went through our journey and they realized what they want and they pursued upskilling and they landed jobs in all of these different roles. I should add the company titles here as well of where they landed. And of course, we have testimonials, including 15 pages of testimonials. So, we have such a broad variety of roles, industry, ages, location. We help people in such an array of different fields that it's really about figuring out who you are and what you want and going to find that in the world. So timeline. It typically takes about 2 to 3 months, but I've had clients go through this in a month. It totally depends on how much time you put into the process. We have different monthly coaching packages. They vary by how often we would talk together, whether weekly, bi-weekly, or once a month. Like I said, you get the platform, texting and emailing with me, as well as group coaching and group co-working as well. And so to pick your plan, you determine how much you want to work throughout the week, which plan is the best fit for you, and then we would really kick off the first call and your next steps, and typically recommend taking the assessment as the first step. And this is who we are. We're waking up the world to remember you can and should find a job you love. And we want to make sure that every professional has support at every juncture of their career journey. And now I'm going to show you a little bit of how our product looks and how it works. Hey everyone, so this is our dashboard where you can see a synthesized list of your target roles, industries, as well as their task list and timeline. And on the left side, these are all different tools that we have custom designed so that you can easily achieve each step, whether you are exploring and learning and reflecting on your direction, networking, personal branding, deciding on upskilling, or job searching. So all of the tools are here for you. And I'll just show you one example so you can see that each screen gives you additional guidance in terms of what to do, how to do it, why to do it, as well as setting your goals and when you want to achieve the step, as well as how to do that particular step. So that's a very quick look at what it is that we do, but each step really, you would go in order through this journey, one step at a time, and we would release it to you when you're ready for the next step, depending on what tools we feel like you need at that time. So reach out. We do offer a free one-on-one initial coaching call, and I'd love to meet you and see how I can help.